What if I told you that they don't want your money, they want your reaction? Every notification is a transaction. Every scroll is a sale. You think you're choosing, but your chemistry already decided. The system doesn't just market to your wallet, it monetizes your attention. And dopamine is the new currency. Now, before we dive into this video, this is not legal advice. This is not financial advice. Do your due diligence. This is not religious advice. You understand me? Everything that we're going to be talking about is for educational purposes only. And I hope that you are able to gain value from this video, okay? My goal is to really expose the system for what it really is, okay? And also expose us for the things that we lack accountability for, okay? And I'll just say that true maturity is accountability. So when you do hear these things, you can get upset at them, or you can take a look at yourself and reflect and say, well, how am I participating in my own demise? And that's when we're talking about the aspect of dopamine. We're talking about the aspect of, controlling that and being able to protect that so that you can control your life and be fully conscious and aware of it's not the money that they want, it's your energy, okay? Because your energy is what where the value comes from, okay? And dopamine is a part of your energy. So we're gonna talk about how, with the use of that, how they program you to stay broke, okay? And this is gonna go along with the topic of freeing yourself, all right? So remember, if you're brand new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tap into the channel, invest in the channel. If you invest in me, I'm gonna invest in you. Thank y'all for watching the video. Let's dive into another one. Every time you get that buzz, sale alert, credit approval, new phone release, a little chemical fires that says reward. That's not random. That's neuroscience in service of economics. The average person doesn't spend because they need. They spend because their brain is being trained to feel debt as pleasure. They associate spending with winning and saving with sacrifice. That's how you trap a population without chains. You reward the action that drains them and dull the feeling that will actually free them. The economy runs on chemical obedience. So understand that. And this is why I talk about the aspect of the system wants you to be a drone. The system doesn't want you to. The system doesn't want you to be free. The system doesn't want you to be free. They want you to be confused about who you are. They don't want you to be aware of the reality of the world. Because if you do know the reality of the world, then they lose control over you. Okay? You don't feel stuck because you are actually stuck. It's probably some external factors that are making you think that you are stuck. And we're going to talk about that. I don't want to get too deep in this, but let's just talk about the law and logic behind it. We're going to come back to that. Okay. Now, I'm always going to bring it back to consumer law, because if we are in a space where we are not aware of how credit is being created or how money flows to us, then we will be in a constant perpetual state of thinking that we can't get ahead in life. Okay. So one of the reasons why I talk about the laws, and specifically consumer laws, because this is literally exposing the world for what it is. So hold on, give me a second. Let me go ahead and pull up the Truth in Lending Act. The Truth in Lending Act, it pretty much breaks down how lenders are required to disclose the true cost of credit, required to disclose any and everything about the lending as it pertains to a contract. Now, imagine if you had awareness that they wasn't actually lending you money. Imagine if they told you that you were the one that created the credit. Well, that kind of just breaks down the whole structure of the system, okay? Because the system is dependent upon your belief in them, okay? But the disclosure doesn't protect you from impulse. And this is when we dive into the aspect of we sometimes get in contracts that we know we aren't ready for, because we want to take that trip, or because we want to get that vehicle, or get that credit card, spend the money on a credit card that we didn't have. And because of that impulse, or because you see winning or spending as winning, you think when you spend the credit, like you did yourself a service. But then you come to the channel and you want to figure out how to discharge your debt. And some people come from the aspect as if like they know they feel like they didn't do anything wrong. That is just the bank that's in the wrong. Now, here's the reality. The bank is doing something immorally wrong. The bank is trying to control you. But here's the part where you have to take accountability. Did you know that you couldn't afford what it is that you bought on that credit card? Was you getting this debt so you can discharge it? And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but moving with the element of getting debt to discharge it, or especially if you don't know how to do it and never done it before, is impulsive. It's not smart. It's because you're excited. And I think that a lot of my videos get people excited, give people that dopamine rush. So they say, damn, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get that credit and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna discharge it. But then you get it, you don't know the process of discharging, or you heard some way that is incomplete. You try, it don't work, and now you are pretty much paying that back for the rest of your life, or in a lawsuit or in a battle with the debt collector. My goal is for you to understand that impulse, to become more aware of that impulse, to use that impulse strategically, okay? And I'm not at all here telling you to save your money or not to get credit or not to get debt, but to be aware of your reasonings, okay? To actually do it with intention, okay? So they design environments where logic is silent, bright colors, easy buttons, zero down. Every screen built to bypass the prefrontal cortex, the part that calculates consequence. And in that split second of dopamine, you sign, you create, and you consent. The same legal principle that makes your signature a negotiable instrument under UCC 3-104 now turns your emotion into an instrument too. Because whether it's a contract or clicked, consent is still consent. So this is their primary argument. Debt collectors, the fact that you consented. So obviously you can overcome that by challenging whether you consented to something that you had full knowledge of, that you meeting on the minds of. But if you consented to it, or if you didn't do the proper due diligence, you just did it because you didn't think about the consequences. You didn't think that you could potentially not be able to pay this debt. You didn't think about that. You just thought about how you would feel better right now. So now, next week, when you do have problems, such as credit is messed up, or you want to get funding by the next month or something like that, but you have years of constant negative dopamine that you did, and you put yourself in a hold. And now you want to be able to fix that by tomorrow. We got to grow up, you guys. Okay? If it took you 2 to 3 years to destroy it, give yourself 2 to 3 years to build it back up. It may not take that long, and it may even take longer. Maybe shorter, but take full accountability, okay? Take accountability to the fact that there are higher powers that literally don't want you to think. They don't want you to use your brain. And if there's anything you get from this video, it's so that you can use your brain. Consumer law, mindset, psychology, money, growing your finances. The one message I want to be able to drive to you right now, 9 minutes in or 10 minutes in, is control your mind, be conscious of everything around you, and don't be a drone. Be conscious. Like right now, I'm looking in the screen. I'm being conscious of everything that's around me. I'm even being conscious of the movement in my stomach right now. Okay? This is what I mean by being conscious and aware. Take a moment and pause and be present. That is true consciousness. When you're thinking about everything else, the news, you're thinking about, your things you are stressed about and blah, blah, blah. I learned that your thoughts are like hunger. Your thoughts happen to you. They are not actually yours. So be conscious of that. That thought that comes to your head that says, oh, I should buy this. That is just a thought. That doesn't mean that you should. Just like hunger. When you are fasting, you get hunger pains and your body is telling you that you should eat, but you really don't. You're fasting to detox. Or for people who do have a eating disorder, that urge to eat is not like, that's just your body. It's an impulse. And imagine if you can control your hunger. What else do you think you can control? Okay. Now, so let's expose the system. Okay. Take accountability for your consent. That's first off. All right. Now, look around. Every platform is a ledger. Every feed is a balance sheet for human attention. So if you think about it, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, social media platforms, billboard signs, sales, TV, they borrow your focus the way banks borrow your credits and then resell it to advertisers. You are the security. Your reactions are the interest payments. The system doesn't care if you buy or complain as long as you engage, because engagement equals energy and energy equals income. So while you chase dopamine, they collect data. While you feel entertained, they are measuring compliance. That is the real economy, neurofinance. Whoever controls your mind controls you, okay? When you look up the etymology of government, okay, let me see if I can show this to you guys. Etymology of government. And I talked about this in one of my, this is an old concept that I talked about in one of my videos. So look what they say. The word government comes from an old French government, which means control, direction, administration, okay? To direct, rule, guide, to steer the ship. And it says ment suffix means the result or action, okay? So the government, the etymology of government, just based off of this, it says to control, direct, rule, guide, the result of an action. So whose action are they attempting to control or guide? Okay. I seen another etymology of ment that said mind. And I bring this up because the most profound thing that you need in your life is your mind. This is why I'm able to go in 15 USC 1601, read it and understand the value of credit and my value in this economic space and how to be able to extract that value and utilize it. But the government would just tell you to go to work your 9 to 5, make sure you pay your utility bills, your gas and electric bills on time. The American dream is to buy a home. The American dream is to go to college, get into student loan debt. The American dream is to be able to go to work your 9 to 5, come back home, watch Netflix or watch TV, wake up, watch the news. This is the pattern. This is the average American lifestyle, okay? And I honestly think that this is an average world lifestyle in modern countries, but they want you to continue to do that because it doesn't make you think outside the box. It makes you tuned into what it is that they want you to do. And this is why we stay broke, okay? Because whatever you are giving your energy to is what's actually growing. Whatever you give your attention to is what's actually growing. Money follows attention. And if you're giving your attention away to someone else, they are making money and you are not. Okay? And I can tell you this, me having your attention right now, I want to have your attention to be able to tell you the truth. Some people want your attention just to keep you asleep, but I want your attention to wake you up. Okay? This is a very unconventional style video for mine because yes, I'm not diving into the laws and all that because it's deeper than just the laws. Okay? Yes, you can learn all the laws, you can know the procedures, but if your mindset is messed up, if you don't have it up in here, if you don't have belief in yourself up in here, if you don't understand that there are things put in place to keep you away from doing what it is that you're supposed to do, if you don't understand that there are lawyers, there are banks that's going to make you feel like what you're doing is wrong because they are deeply ingrained in the system. They are a part of the system that's trying to keep you asleep. Because if you don't know about this, guess what? They can continue to double dip and make more money off of you. They'll continue to have your attention and have control over you. You'll continue to go to work your 9 to 5, literally work that to pay your bills. And you are working to survive, not working to live. So if you understand that you're going to die at some point in life, then why wouldn't you do what it is that you want to do? Why would you be working to pay debts for the rest of your life? And if you are going to pay debts, make sure you are consented to, or you are paying a debt that you want to pay, not a debt that you're going to get and then say, well, I don't want this debt. I get we make mistakes, but going forward, stop doing that. I even have clients now in debt, still want to get credit, still want to get business funding and all that, but you haven't even cleared up your current debt. That's impulsive. Okay. So let's talk about the framework so that you can be able to move forward. All right. So here's how to reverse engineer their control. Number one, audit your attention. Before you audit money, track what owns your mind. What are you getting up and waking? What are you listening to every single day in the morning? What are you listening to at night? If you're watching me, you probably end your day off with me. That is tough. But who was owning your mind? After you finish watching this video, what are you about to go do? You know what I mean? Actually, I don't really care what you're going to go do, but it's literally how you are aware of your actions. One of my business partners, we're doing the challenge. We get up at 5 a.m. in the morning and we just send each other a voice message to say, yo, I'm up 5 a.m., blah, blah, blah. And one of my business partners kept getting down on himself. I'm like, bro, the fact that you are aware that you could be better is the starting point. That is the key. So each and every day he can get better. So if you realize you have a problem, don't get down on yourself. Just be aware and start taking action. Okay? So audit your attention. Is your attention on something that's actually serving you, or is your attention on something that's actually draining you? Okay? Number two, redefine reward. Train your brain to associate dopamine with building and not buying. Just because you got that new credit card that you have no idea what you're going to do with it, you got to be careful what you do with that. Every time you invest, every time you create, every time you save, anchor pleasure to progress. Okay? Only feel pleasure when you are progressing in a field that you want to progress in. Okay? Delay activation. Introduce a 24-hour rule for emotional decisions. Dopamine fades, logic returns. Let emotion cool before energy moves. Give yourself 24 hours before you make decisions, especially on something that you're thinking about. And I'm talking about more on an aspect of things that don't serve you. Okay? Build digital discipline. Unsubscribe from temptation. Silence marketing. Turn impulse into attention. See, I only follow people that help me grow my platform. I only follow people that create similar content to me. So when I wake up and I see that content, I am ready to create my own content. You get what I'm saying? There are people saying, yeah, sometimes you got to get away from social media and detox and blah, blah, blah. Well, look, my social media is not flooded with stuff that is draining my attention. It's usually stuff that's feeding me to either be inspired or create more. So yes, I would be on social media. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I do want to detox, but I've audited that attention to the point where I'm not following, or I have certain apps and platforms for fun. Okay. Certain accounts for fun, but my main accounts is going to be strictly things that's going to inspire me. And number 5, rewire your environment. Your phone is a bank terminal for your attention. Set boundaries like you would with money. Okay? Because the one who controls stimulation controls decision. And decision is finance. Being decisive, being able to make the right choices in your life. This is why one of the common themes is the freedom to choose. The freedom to be able to decide whether you're going to make good financial decisions or bad financial decisions is your free will. That is your sovereignty. We are obsessed with being sovereign or being free, but you are already free. You're just allowing things to limit you because of your attention to it. You're not being aware, okay? You thinking that there is no free will, you're just not aware. So that's the first step. Become aware of the world around you. Be conscious. Man, oh my God, I wish I hope somebody hears me when y'all watch this video. Now, let's dive into the inner philosophy of this, okay? So the dopamine community feeds on your restlessness, okay? Freedom begins when you no longer need a spike. The strongest man isn't the one who resists spending, but it's the one who feels no pull to react. It's almost like when a child does something to you, you know that they're not emotionally intelligent enough to know right from wrong. So you don't react. You know what I mean? In an unhealthy way. You probably react in a way to either teach, to set the example, or you just don't react anyway. You probably just laugh it off. This is how you want to treat your emotions. This is how you want to treat your impulses. You don't take a cold shower because it's going to help you unlock like massive power. But when you take a cold shower, you are doing that because it is shocking. It is painful. And usually when you do get in the shower, you get all, shocked, and it's cold and you shivering and all of that. But imagine when you can take that cold shower with no reaction at all. What do you think you'll be able to go through? Because technically you don't have to carry on like that. Technically you could just sit there in the cold water, stone face. That's an impulsive reaction. You know what I mean? Yes, it's our body, but imagine if you can control even that right there. What do you think you can control? Oh my gosh. You can control your finances. You can control your money. You can control what you're going to do to elevate yourself. And when I'm talking about control, it's not that you're going to just make money out of thin air. You can, but it's going to take work. All right? It's going to take building blocks. Control the building blocks that you start. 1% each day. All right? Because when you learn to stay calm in a world designed to provoke you, you move from puppet to a player. Okay? Because the real withdrawal isn't from money, it's from manipulation. You're tired of being you're tired of being manipulated by debt, by these external ideas. And we can't truly find peace because we're constantly being manipulated in our relationships, by our spouses, by our jobs, by debt collectors, by our universities, by our schools, by our government, by our news, by the social media. So when people tell you to detox from that stuff, it's not to completely like throw the stuff away, but to take a step back and, okay, recenter. Okay, how can I intentionally utilize these things that may not serve me? Do I need to cut them out, or how can I be intentional about this so that it's not something that is not a service to me? Like social media, it can be a service for you or it could not, okay? Because once you reclaim your chemistry, you reclaim your capacity to choose. So I want to help you guys turn this knowledge into leverage, okay? Because at the end of the day, knowledge is just potential power, okay? It's applied knowledge that is true power. Now you start using dopamine as design. Attach excitement to your builds, business credit, funding structure, investment strategy. Each time you create stability, reward yourself. Each time you control emotion, record the win. You transform dopamine from distraction to discipline, from reaction to reward engineering. That's the real wealth switch, turning chemistry into consistency. If you truly want to build wealth, okay? And yes, I'm not Warren Buffett, okay? I'm not Jeff Bezos. But what I will tell you is that the true wealth is your time. The true wealth is your attention. The true wealth is your consciousness. So we're on this financial path so that we can be able to not feel limited physically, because our physical limitations, sometimes, even though everything starts in the mind, our physical limitations can trick us. So this is why I say go after something financially so that you can have the finances to be able to maneuver how you want to maneuver, right? If you want to pack up and fly somewhere, you can. But it's not even about that. If you want to be able to go and get groceries every single week with no problems, that's freedom. You want to be able to get the most expensive grapes. Grapes are starting to get expensive. And then they seed. Then they seeded. They seedless. It'll be $11 for some goddamn grapes. So the freedom to be able to get that, as many as you want. You know what I mean? You want to cook on a grill every single day. That's freedom. You know, some people don't want to go to Dubai and fly and this, that, and the third. But then there's some people who do. Depending on what you want, you deserve it. You just have to attract it. And you start attracting it by managing what you draw your attention to. What entertains you trains you. Shout out to my guy, Nehemiah Davis. You know what I mean? Whatever you're looking at every single day is why you are where you're at every single day. All right? This is why I write in my journal. This is why my mentor told me to create an action plan, because when I wake up every single day, I look at my action plan, and that right there is what my intention should be on. Everything that's going to bring me closer to my goals and dreams. Because at the end of the day, this is how you live life. You live life by growing You don't live life by being stagnant and following rules, doing what you think you're supposed to do, and that's really what somebody told you. But when you sit back and you are present and conscious with yourself, what do you actually want to do? All right? So, if you want to learn how to be able to manifest your reality using finances, credit, and consumer law, and building a personal brand, tap into the school community down below. If you want to work with me one-on-one, the link is in the description. Go ahead and do the application. All right? That is a premium coaching experience, and I'm helping anybody who wants to be able to start their own personal brand on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. Want to be able to reach millions of people so that you can be able to grow your business or brand. Looking to start a credit repair company. That's something else I also help individuals do, get started. And then lastly, if you are looking to fix your credit, right? You're looking to build your credit. You're looking to overcome these financial struggles when it comes to the consumer law game, tap into the application or the school community, okay? I think we are 13 members away from 1,000 members on the school community. Once we reach 1,000 members, the price is gonna go up, all right? So get grandfathered in. Thank y'all for tapping into the video, because we built the economy built from, our goal is to build profit from our impulses instead of losing it, all right? So if you're done with being programmed by consumption, tap into the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I love y'all, and I'll catch y'all on another one. This video is sponsored by the Fund Yourself Academy. My step-by-step system designed to help you fix your credit, get funding, and build real financial freedom from scratch. If you're tired of feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or just ready to stop living paycheck to paycheck, this is where it changes. Inside the Academy, I break down everything from consumer law secrets that they don't teach in school to how to remove negative items and boost your score, get access to business funding, and start building multiple income streams online. Whether you're just starting out or ready to level up your game and get the bag, this is your playbook. We've got tools, templates, dispute letters, mentorship calls, private community access, and an exact roadmap I use to leave my 9-to-5 and create time freedom. But only for a limited time. You can get access to the Fund Yourself Academy on a free trial basis for the next 7 days. And then after that, you pay less than $1 a day at $27 a month, if you like it. No fluff, just facts and just freedom. Go to the fundyourselfacademy.com or hit the link in the description to join now, because nobody's coming to save you, but you can fund yourself.